In-law niggled at, then Vega for luck, Space Rider the fence, Regal Award is about 4 off the lead, but starting to get interested, and they were followed by Redders and Estremo still a long way back. Wise In-law moved up and claimed Aleppo Pine. Space Rider's getting out, Regal Award down the outside, it's still Wise In-law, 100 metres to go, but now Space Rider moves up, takes the lead, and Space Rider won it from Wise In-law, and then Estremo late for third from Aleppo Pine, then Regal Award, Vega for luck, Oyster Lane Redders, and last Street Fighter Vega.
Space Rider, that's a stylish return, and he showed that in his first preparation as a 2-year-old. Lizzie touched on that. He created quite an impression up in Queensland. It all went wrong for his second career start. He is one that has certainly come back as a bigger and better 3-year-old.
That's right. When you remember his performance first up in Queensland, he was going into what we thought was going to be a Magic Millions run, and he was really short in the market. He then had that run, that second up run, to try and get him into the race, qualified into the race, and it all went wrong. It was probably James Allman, if he had the chance again, he would have been able to do things differently, because he was wide, no cover, too tough a performance for him. So he was one that I always wanted to follow moving forward, and he's done a great job. He's colt by Zoostar out of Fuddle-de-Duddle, who we know was a really sharp filly, and he looks as though he's in for a good preparation and maybe even some stakes racing moving forward.
I like the run of the third horse too, Estremo, who rattled down the outside from near last, so once he gets over a trip, he might be worth following. We just saw a brilliant performance. If you've just joined us, Autumn Glow was absolutely fantastic. James McDonald went left, went right, ducked up on the inside. His impression of that performance will be interesting to hear.
She's the new perfect one. Congratulations. How did that feel?
Yeah, she's excellent. She's a queen, and yeah, she's just an absolute pleasure to ride. She's so good.
I know that a few furlongs out, you're ducking and weaving, trying to find a clear passage, but in that final 50 metres or so, it did look soft.
Yeah, it was really soft, and you've got to remember it's 1100. She started off at 1300. She's declined and tripped since she's got older, but I think we're starting to learn a lot more about her, and the further she'll go, the better she'll be. I'm talking 7 to a mile. And I don't think she's a 6-furlong horse. She's just that good. She's getting away with it.
She exciting you?
Yeah, she does. She's one of the most exciting horses, like from day dot, to come through the ranks. I think we'll be talking about her for a long time, and I think she's one of the proper ones.
Good on, mate.
Thank you.
Coming up on 7 Racing.
Van Gogh won the Winx Stakes.
Group 1 Racing. Next on 7 Horse Racing.
Their Sustaina's charging. Their Sustainer rattling home.
This is the great outdoors!
Whether it's an African safari, Australia's Red Centre, or skiing in the Swiss Alps.
Allez!
Planning your new adventure begins here.
I feel like I'm lost for words. It's so beautiful.
This is the great outdoors!
Tonight at 7 on 7.
Deposit match. That's a good thing.
Punt with Ladbrokes and claim your 100% deposit match this spring carnival. Head to the promotions page in the Ladbrokes app to see your personalised offer. And tap claim now to get your next deposit matched in bonus cash. Ladbrokes, you deposit, we match. Go, you good thing. What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
Accidents can be life-changing, but you don't have to face them alone. Take the first step and contact Fortitude Legal, your local personal injury specialists. Meet with us directly to discuss your rights and obtain the compensation you deserve to protect your future. Visit fortitudelegal.com.au to learn more.
Go Harvey Norman, trade in and save. Up to $500 on selected home entertainment. Up to $500 on fridges, dishwashers and laundry. Up to $300 on coffee machines and floor care when you trade in your old appliance, working or not. At Harvey Norman now.
Your dream home is closer than you think with Metricon, Australia's #1 home builder. With our Fast Track program, your contract is ready in 7 days. And you can get to site in as little as 16 weeks. Plus, you can receive an upfront and transparent fast-track saving on your stunning Metricon design. Contact us to see if you qualify and move in faster than you thought possible. Metricon. Love where you live.
Madden's lawyers are the experienced personal injury lawyers, successful at securing compensation for our clients. Madden's lawyers, with you every step of the way.
Deposit match. That's a good thing.
Punt with Ladbrokes and claim your 100% deposit match this Spring Carnival. Head to the promotions page in the Ladbrokes app to see your personalised offer. And tap Claim Now to get your next deposit matched in bonus cash. Ladbrokes, you deposit, we match. Go, you good thing. What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
Seven's coverage of horse racing is brought to you by Ladbrokes. Form made easy, go you good thing. You win some, you lose more.
But Via Sistina storms away with 150 to go. It's going to be a cut-weight round. Via Sistina by 7 lengths. But she's really opening up now, Aliana, and the filly's going to destroy them in the derby. Here's Chayawolf with a booming run down the outside. Chayawolf takes the lead and won the King Charles III.
They're ready, we're ready for the running of the Winx Stakes, the first Group 1 of the season. And look at the contenders taking their place in this weight for age 7 furlong event. Gringotts, a George Ryder winner. Chayawolf, a 2-time Group 1 winner for Joe Pride. Via Sistina, she is the Queen of the Turf. She will be champion horse of Australia next weekend. Light Infantryman, a 2-time Group 1 winner. And then Aliana, who put pain to the boys in the derby throughout the autumn. So Via Sistina, she's looking to go back-to-back. The 1,400 metres, not necessarily her go, but she makes it her go because she's so good.
Yeah, she just finds the line. She just knows how to win, doesn't she? Her trials have looked exceptional. She looks like she's nice and sharp. The only query is the heavy track today, Richo.
That's the big query. This is the only time we've seen her in Australia on a heavy track, and she's in the Makybe Diva, and the horse that's coming on the inside and passing her is Warmonger. That's got to be the big query. Was it because of the wet track? Keep in mind, after this run, she won a Turnbull at Group 1 level, bolted into Cox Plate, and then won a Champion Stakes. So something didn't work out for her in the Makybe Diva. Now here she is trialling on a wet track, and she looks like she's going like an absolute bomb, but 1,400 metres on a heavy 10, that must be a query for her. If you're a punter and you're thinking about the odds, it's got to be a query. Can I add this in? 8-year-old mares to win a Group 1. It hasn't happened since 1945. So there's another reason why you'd be looking elsewhere, Katie, and you might be looking at a stablemate like Aliana.
Yeah, exactly. Well, she was just unbelievable, thrashing the boys in the derby. Have a look at this performance, and you just still feel like we haven't gotten to the bottom of her. Look at her racing away here, just putting pain to everyone. I just can't wait to see her back. She's been trialling up absolutely superbly. And she'll be no doubt ready to rock and roll. Here she is in her stalls, she's just standing nice and quietly with her red earmuffs on. She's just an absolute competitor, and I think she is certainly going to give this race a big shake today. And Lizzie, another horse that I feel like has been trialling well is Chayawolf.
He seems as though he might be the forgotten horse at the moment because he maybe didn't live up to expectations in the autumn after that barnstorming victory in the spring, taking out the King Charles. But this is him trialling up. The reports have been that he's more forward in condition this time around. I guess the big question mark for me is, first up into the prep, are they going to really use him and utilise him to be able to go forward and win this race? Whereas I think this is Gringotts' one that he can get, the Group 1, that he can be forward, tough, and he's also had that really strong trial over the 1,000 metres. He's a lot, Richo, smaller in stature, and he doesn't carry a lot of excess condition, so I would expect him, even though I'm here at the Valley, to be more forward in condition than a few of these runners that are stepping out for the very first time.
Well, he's a 1600 metre horse. I think your point's so valid, isn't it? And so is Robusto. They are 1600 metre horses versus, we know that Light Infantry Man, we know Via Sistina, we know Aliana. They're 2,000 metres and maybe even 2,000 plus. So that's where it gets really interesting, trying to weigh them all up.
The way the race is run today is going to determine who is going to be able to finish off the strongest. If you've got a horse like Robusto, War Eternal, Gringotts going forward, it's going to really help horses like, I suppose, Arapaho, who loves the wet conditions. 1,400 metres first up is a big question mark for me, but
especially weight for age against these.
But he does love the wet tracks. He's the one that's going to really relish these conditions, and he is good fresh, but it's a little bit of a stretch in my opinion.
And then Adam Duggan has Diamond Diesel, a 9-year-old son of Mossman, looking for its first Group 1. He hasn't had a win since winning a Civic Stakes at listed grade. That's 400 odd days ago.
But what did he do last time? Well, 2 starts ago when he ran at Rosehill on a super heavy track. He put his best performance forward. Again, it's probably a stretch, but best of luck to him and Connections.
Seinfeld would say his mother was a mudder. Absolutely loves it wet, Diamond Diesel. So here we go. Let's have a look at the runners into the mounting yard, Katie. Can't wait to see them all here for the Winx Stakes. Interesting. So 4 runners have never raced on a heavy, and 3 of them have never won on a heavy. Here's Light Infantryman, one of those that hasn't ever raced on a heavy track.
Yeah, so it's going to be testing for him, but gee, what a horse he is. And of course, last preparation, he won the Australian Cup and then raced his way into a Queen Elizabeth behind Via Sistina, but he was well beaten on that occasion. He's a much better horse than that. I think he can run a bit of a race if he handles the conditions today, but it's a nice kick-off point for him. And then looking at Chow Wolf here for Chad Schofield and Joe Pride, he's resuming. I've just loved his trials, Lizzie.
Been trialling up really nicely, and I always listen to Joe Pride, especially when he talks about how different a preparation is, and if he's saying this horse is more forward in condition, that's something you could certainly take notice of. This is the guy that I think will run really well, Richo, because he's got the fitness on his side. This is his trip. This is almost his mini grand final.
Yeah. He's the one who's best suited. I'm a sucker for a shiny one. He looks outstanding, doesn't he? That's my uneducated eye. But by gee, he looks good, Gringotts. He's had a couple of trials for this. And then, Katie, we get to Arapaho. Surely at weight for age against these champs, they're going to be too quick, or maybe not.
Yeah, well, I mean, the heavy track will bring him into it a little bit, but I think you're right there. And he's looking quite shiny too, Richo. And usually shiny means very, very healthy, as we look at Lindemann, Lizzie.
Richo's also very shiny today, so he's obviously very healthy. This guy's had the 5 runs on the heavy tracks and hasn't performed, but he's going to be part of the pace. He will be able to go forward. It's all going to be how much speed is put into this race. You've got Lindemann, you've got Robusto, you've got War Eternal, you've got Gringotts. They've all got the ability to go forward. This guy's got the fitness on his side. He's had the runs in so far this campaign, but how many horses win this race first up as opposed to horses deep in their prep?
Well, since it's become a Group 1, it's interesting. You've got to go back to 2014 for one that's had a run leading into it. That was Tiger Tease, who won an Ori Star in the lead-up. There's no way on a dry track I could possibly tip War Eternal to run a race, but on a heavy 10 against this lot at weight for age, he might just be able to run into the minor money. He's worth considering for mine into the Exotics Diamond Diesel. Well, Katie looks outclassed, but the wet track does help.
Yeah, it helps a little bit, but let's take our eyes to Via Sistina. She looks unbelievable. She's glowing in her coat. She's walking around nice and relaxed. She's got the red earmuffs on just to keep her nice and relaxed, as well as her 2 handlers. But she's been trialling up beautifully on the bridle, so it's a different thing today when she's going to be let off the bridle on the heavy conditions, and we'll see if she really wants to let go. And we know that if she does let go, she is going to be really hard to beat. Full count Felicia. think I just want to see her today. I know she's a good horse, but she hasn't seen a heavy track or a soft track, and she's used to them really firm. But Aliana, I give a really good chance to as well. I think she's pretty special, and to this preparation, I think she can really have a good prep and maybe stamp herself as being pretty elite. Ali, can we look at a market for the Group 1 Winx Stakes?
Absolutely, Katie, the all-important market. So Via Sistina is just starting to ease a touch now, 220 out to 260. She's got about a third of the money invested on her here. Gringotts on the second line is at 5, just out from 480. Aliana is about our third best-backed runner. She's been 750 into 6. Our second best-backed runner here with 20% of the money is Chaya Wolf, 850 into 750. Robusto has been 12 into 11, 19 about Light Infantry Man. Lindemann actually has been spected odds, went up 51, 26, now 19, 23 about War Eternal, 26 Arapaho, and then 61 or more for the last few there. So an interesting move for Via Sistina. She's getting soft late now, 220 out to 260, albeit she's best backed. You win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
Bonjour, Pierre.
Bonjour. I can't speak English. Elaine Grandois.
All right, Group 1 time 3 runners. How exceptional. We'll start with the 2 fit horses on the scene, War Eternal and Robusto. War Eternal looks very, very well for today's event, very well placed.
Yeah, it's a bit of a risk, and the big question mark is whether he's up to this. He's 7, he's probably not, but he's very fit and well. He won well last week, so that gives him his chance. And Robusto's very, very well. He's been 5 weeks between races, but he's a little bit better than I think I give him credit for. He's a progressive horse. His last 2 runs have been great. 1400 today probably suits, and he'll be able to put himself right there.
He can just do anything he wants, that guy, can't he, anyways? Arapaho, first up, we know that he's a winner over, a Group 1 winner over 3,200 metres, but this wet deck, and I reckon his trials, I think he's a sneaky hope today.
Yeah, no, I'm just mindful he's probably better with a run or two, but he can get through a very wet track, and maybe he's got a little bit of residual fitness from his record-breaking Sydney Cup one-track record, and he handles all tracks, but it's more about later than today, but he's not out of it. He's been in some of these early races. He's only been beaten a couple of lengths by the best horses, and a wet track probably brings him into it.
Bonne chance. It's good luck.
Au revoir.
They're going to start to hit the comedy circuit, those two. Quite the act. So the Winx Stakes, Katie, where do we start? How do we assess them? It's been 7 years as a Group 1, and Chris Waller, interesting, he's 33 runners in 7 years. He's won it 4 times. He saddles up 4 today. Lindemann probably doesn't handle a wet track. Full Count Felicia probably ditto, and then he's got his 2 superstars. Where do you start? Do you start with the champ?
Well, I'm also looking at a speed map point of view, and we know that Full Count Felicia